Do you think structure is boring and stifling? Think again. It's actually your secret weapon for more freedom. Let me show you how structure will create more freedom, transformation, money, and even more fun in your life. If you don't know who I am, allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Aaron. I am a certified life coach and I specialize in metaphysical and practical techniques for self-care and personal development. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video because, as always, I'm going to give you some additional resources and steps to move forward if this is where you are in your journey. And there will be timestamps in this video to help you better navigate your experience. Let's first talk about structures, systems, and their benefits. Structure isn't about restriction, it's actually about freedom. Even Serena Williams has talked about this.
I honestly believe discipline is freedom.
I want to hear about that.
When you have discipline, you get what you want. When you don't have discipline, you do not get any of what you want. So you're free to live your dream, you're free to do the things that you love, and then you start to come to love the discipline. And then when you don't have the discipline, that's when the anxiety sets in because you know you're not paying the price. And if you don't pay the price, you get nothing. So you got to pay the price, and then you have to have discipline, and then the world is open to you.
When you create structure in your life, it actually allows you more freedom. You don't have to worry about what to do next. You can be targeted in your efforts, your energy, your actions. Creating the right structure and the right system that works well for you helps to eliminate fatigue, overwhelm, and even stress. It actually helps you conserve your mental, emotional, and physical energy. And having the right systems in place, no matter what areas of life they are addressing for you or what goals you are working on, actually allows you to be more creative because you aren't stuck in chaos. Overall, the right system and the right routine is going to give you more time, more energy, and flexibility. Now let me give you some examples that you can actually fit into your life and make work for you. This section we're going to call the core routines for a thriving life. And here are 5 systems and routines that will help you create forward movement and momentum on your self-care and personal development journey. The first one is actually my all-time favorite, and it's the morning and evening routine. Now, a lot of people who I personally work with say they want to get up earlier so that they can do more with their day. If this is you, I would highly suggest that you implement the morning and evening routine. And it's a bit counterintuitive, but I think you should start with the evening routine. And let me tell you why. A lot of people have trouble with their sleep hygiene. The things that they are doing an hour or two before bed that actually keeps them up all night. And if you are up all night, then clearly you're not going to be waking up early in the morning. So if you want to do more with your mornings, if you want to have more time in the mornings, more structure in your morning, more freedom and flexibility thus throughout your day, I would suggest starting with the evening routine. Your evening routine is going to help you transition out of the day. It's going to help you improve your sleep as well as prepping for a successful tomorrow. Some things that you can think about for your evening routine. This is going to be having a consistent bedtime and one that is not too late for you. So think about how many hours of sleep you need, what time you ultimately want to wake up, and then count backwards. Pretty easy. You already know I love journaling activities. I have an entire playlist of journaling activities here on my channel, Higher Alignment. Check out the evening review journaling activity. That is one that you are going to want to implement. This is something that will help you review your day as well as prepare for a successful tomorrow. I'll be sure to link that above as well as in the description box below. You want to have your evening meal a little bit earlier. So eating heavy meals, sugary meals, fatty meals too close to bed is going to mean that your body is spending its energy that it could be using for rest and rejuvenation on digestive processes. Something else that could help you out is doing light stretching, yin yoga, meditation, yoga nidra before bed. This is going to help your body release the energy of the day and really prepare for a restful night's sleep. But let's go ahead and talk about your morning routine. Your morning routine sets the tone and builds momentum for your day. I always think of your morning routine as time and space to give to yourself before you have to give your time and your energy to the world. It's a little bit of a break even before the day starts. It's me time. So this can include things like journaling, gratitude journaling, morning pages. This could include exercise, even your breakfast, some movement, as well as goal setting. So giving yourself time and space in the morning and the evening is definitely going to improve your day. If you have certain goals, if you are working on habit development, you can even put some of those small habits, group them together, and put them in your morning routine or your evening routine. That way you know that you are hitting those as well. So let's talk about the solar and the lunar cycles and using them to track your goals for habit development and creating consistency in your life. You may be most familiar with the solar cycle, so the days of the week, the weeks themselves, and the solar months. There are 12 of them in a year. All of these systems revolve around the sun and the earth and how they engage and interact with one another. So you may have, once again, your morning and evening routine fall into the solar cycle system. You may have weekly goals, things that you want to do on certain days of the week, and you want to have perhaps the weekends for yourself, or goals that you set for yourself the entire week. You may even establish certain goals for yourself during different months of the year or even during different seasons, and then you work on that goal for that entire season or for that entire 30 or 31 day period. These are great ways to create strategy and consistency in your life, especially if you're working on improving your communication, getting rid of debt, improving your finances, getting physically fit. These are great ways to establish those goals and work through them. The solar cycle is also great because you may find that you have more energy and are more alert in the morning time, and then as the day goes on, your energy wanes, and in the evening time, it's your period for rest and rejuvenation. This way you can be more targeted and put activities and actions in the correct spots during the day, so you are capitalizing on your body's natural energy system. But I do want to introduce you to the lunar cycle. So I'm going to be doing an entire series on how to use the lunar cycle for self-care and personal development. It's personally my favorite. There are 13 lunar months in a year versus the 12 solar months in a year. So if you're working with the lunar cycle, it has its own type of consistency, its own pattern, and you get an additional month. One thing that I like to do is to start new goals under the new moon. This is a period of low energy, and making sure that those goals are fully formed and fleshed out and that I am working towards them. So by the full moon, which is halfway through the lunar cycle, I can celebrate my successes and even release and repivot if things aren't working and I still have from the full moon to the next new moon to continue working on things. I'm going to dive a lot deeper into how to track the lunar cycle and how to use it for self-care and personal development a little bit later on in this goal achievement and habit development series. But I first wanted to start off with topics that are a bit more practical and applicable to everyone. So that's why you see me doing 3 or 4 videos before I get into that. Quick side note, have you ever noticed the crystal jewelry that I wear in my videos? Here I'm wearing a Herkimer diamond necklace with silver accents, and one thing that I always love to wear is my personal sunstone crystal bracelet. If you are interested in handmade crystal jewelry, you definitely have to check out my site, HIYERAlignment.com. On my site, you're not only going to find crystal jewelry, you'll find hand-rolled crystal incense, all of my digital workbooks, and so much more. So be sure to check it out. And also, if you've made it this far in this video, I would love to know What systems and routines are you currently using, or what do you want to work on in your life? Go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below so that I can see what you're working on and I will personally respond right to you. Another easy routine for you to establish is going to be the weekly review routine. A planned weekly check-in helps you to create consistency in your goals. It prevents you from being overwhelmed and just kind of like throwing everything against the wall and seeing what works and what doesn't. You want to be targeted in your actions. It will provide you a period for self-reflection, and overall it helps to keep you focused. This is something that a lot of people do, especially when it revolves around their meal planning. So you may be interested in meal planning or meal prepping. You get your meals together and your food together and you have everything ready to go. So this eliminates you time cooking, time figuring out what to eat, and everything is right there ready for you. The next routine that I want to cover is indispensable. This is one that you absolutely need. This is going to be your self-care routine. Now, many times when I talk with clients about what is your self-care routine and what does that look like, they tell me things like, oh, I take myself out to get my hair done or my nails done or something like that. And those types of activities, while they feel good, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about activities that are going to promote stress relief in the way of activating the parasympathetic nervous system or the calming part of your nervous system. So I'm not talking about things that you are doing in the external world. I'm talking about things that you are doing in your internal world. And this is why I promote activities like yoga nidra, mindfulness meditation, journaling to help with self-reflection, things that you are doing that are giving you some me time that's actually calming your body on the inside, calming your body from all of the compounded stress that you accumulate. The best thing I feel would be to give yourself time and space every single day to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. The reason is because every day you are doing something that's activating the sympathetic nervous system, and that is the part of your nervous system that controls that fight or flight actions, those fight or flight responses within the body. And in modern society, really, most people live with a chronic low-level stress. This means that there's always something going on, whether it even just be mentally, that is keeping your body stressed out on a low level. And that accumulation of stress will eventually impact you. And this doesn't always even have to be severely negative things. It could be things just like working and focusing on your goals. So I do have a resource for you, my free self-care activities list, and I am going to put that in the description box below. I'll also review this at the end when I give you next steps and additional resources, but there are a number of categories on this self-care ideas list, and the point is to introduce you to activities that perhaps you've never heard of or never tried before. What I would suggest that you do is you write down everything that's currently stressing you out. Then you take that list and you categorize it into categories like mental, physical, emotional, and so on. Then when you look on the self-care ideas list, you're going to look for the corresponding category that you find fits the predominant type of stressors you are experiencing. In the categories, you're going to find a number of activities that are going to counterbalance those stressors. So you'll be able to pick a few of them out and begin to engage with them consistently. That way you know that the activities that you are doing are directly targeting the types of stressors that you have. So let's go ahead and move on to next steps and additional resources. The first thing that I have for you is going to be my YouTube membership program. So in my YouTube membership program, there are a number of different levels. That way you can engage with different resources at your level. There are going to be exclusive guided meditations, exclusive shower meditations, yoga nidras, journaling activities, and so much more. You also get early access to YouTube videos that are going to come out. You get the ability to request custom activities and custom guided practices created just for your needs. You can find more information on my YouTube memberships program by clicking join below this video or any other video on my channel. The second resource that I have for you is the Learning Myself workbook. It is actually divided into 5 different sections. This workbook started out as a class that I actually taught online, and each section is going to help you dive deeper into self-exploration, learning about your stressors, learning about your goals, and not only that, but creating effective and targeted systems and routines that will benefit you and help you create forward movement in your self-care and personal development journey. The workbook is filled with tons of journaling activities, self-exploration prompts, there are guided meditations, and so much more. The next resource that I have for you, if you are interested in learning to work with the lunar cycle or the moon cycle for self-care, personal development, goal achievement, and creating new habits, you definitely want to check out my moon work guide. It is going to teach you how to identify the phases of the moon, how to identify the phases of the lunar cycle, how to use each of those phases effectively when it comes to creating new goals, creating new habits, and breaking old habits. That way you are able to use the lunar cycle on your self-care and personal development journey and creating more consistency in your life. And if you are someone who is interested in live self-care sessions, then I would suggest you check out my Patreon. The difference between my Patreon and my YouTube memberships is my Patreon will get you access to 2 to 4 live self-care sessions that I personally create and host for you each month on Zoom. So you'll always be able to find the current month schedule on my Patreon. It also gets you access to the same benefits as the YouTube membership program. There are exclusive guided practices. In my Patreon, there is an exclusive mindfulness meditation class. You get the ability to request custom guided practices created just for you, your needs, desires, and goals. So there are tons of benefits of engaging with my Patreon or my YouTube memberships program, and both of those start at just about $5 a month, so it's very low cost. I'm going to include the links to all of the resources and programs that I talked about in this video in the description box below, so I would highly suggest that you check that out. While you are down there looking at those resources, make sure if you haven't already, you hit that bell icon and the subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos. And in the meantime, in between time, here are 2 more that YouTube thinks that you would enjoy.